I've been helping women to pack light for 15 years. And during that time, I've encountered a number of similar messages, emails, responses, you name it, from travelers struggling to make it happen. Now, many of them have this same belief that packing light just isn't possible for them, right? Because they have one extra area of concern. They might require a CPAP machine, or they have a larger medical kit, or maybe they want to pack a nicer camera. And because of that, they completely write off their ability to pack light before they even start. Well, in this video, I'm here to tell you why you shouldn't give up and why having these types of issues, it doesn't immediately relegate you to needing heavy, unruly luggage. It's all about identifying the levers you can pull and control. When it comes down to it, there are often ideas that travelers don't think can coexist. For example, a lot of people think that you can't feel prepared if you aren't packing a lot of stuff. Or some think that packing light only exists when comfort is sacrificed. And of course, you can't pack light if you're already required to bring more in one area. Now, these are all examples of false dichotomies. Remember that, false dichotomies. Now, these are basically saying that you have two options. It's this or that, but that's not the case. There's so much more to explore, right? There are a lot of different possibilities out there that aren't being considered in what is actually a very complex issue. So packing light is a complex issue. It has many variables at play depending on the person, the destination, the trip itinerary, the weather, you name it. So in our last example, the two options that are presented are either one, you can pack light, or two, you can bring your required extras and don't pack light. But in reality, there's just so much more to explore. So it's not taking into account that in addition to these required extras, you're also packing shoes. You're also packing clothes and toiletries. You're probably thinking about electronics. You might be packing some entertainment items. It's not considering that there could be items that you might buy at your destination. There could also be alternative options that are more packable, or there could be options that are just good enough for short periods of time away from home. So while the extras that you require, like a CPAP, these are your constants in packing, right? But all of these other items, these are the variables that you can control. These are the levers that you can pull if you want to pack light. So perhaps you get in there and you start tweaking some of these things, like the more controllable options, and you might have other options pop out on the table. So you might be able to pack in one carry-on bag, and that is packing light for you. Like, it might not be personal item packing light, but being able to go carry-on only in a small carry-on bag with your extras is packing light for you. And that is important to remember. That is so important to remember. But unfortunately, what's on replay in a lot of people's minds is that there's only this option or the other and that they can't coexist. But it's not the whole story, right? So don't write yourself off. Both things can be true. You can pack light even if you have a larger med kit or you require a CPAP. In fact, I've had several people come in and take my packing class, the one where I push students to pack in a 20-liter bag or less, so personal item. I've had several students meet that goal with their CPAP or with a bag full of medications. And here's the thing. When you don't write yourself off and you do allow yourself to see possibility and to explore all of your options, it actually allows you to think creatively and to solve the problem. I am so big on creativity in the packing light process because it makes a huge difference. So another thing that travelers do when they feel like they have these extras that they have to pack is they think that this disqualifies them from being able to participate in my packing class, right? They think, well, I know there's no way I could pack it all into a personal item, so why bother with the class? And I think that this is the exact reason why you should participate in Baggage Freedom Express. So let me illustrate that for you now. So let's say you have some constants that you have to pack, right? So they could be extra meds, like you have a bag full of meds and it takes up something like an 8-liter bag of space, right? And this might take up a good chunk of your normal carry-on suitcase, and it'll make it that much harder for you to stick to carry-on luggage altogether if you're not pulling on your levers. And having this extra stuff, it's stressing you out. Your luggage feels hard to manage. But imagine what your luggage could feel like if everything outside of your constant extras was condensed to just a personal item bag, right? So the 17-liter bag here. Imagine if everything else only required this much space. Now you have just the personal item bag and the extras bag. And when you combine those together, you have one very easy to manage piece of luggage. So I combined both of these into like a little backpack, right? So let's imagine you only need a 26-liter bag. And that is way more manageable on a trip, right, than a big carry-on suitcase or carry-on suitcase and extras. And this is what you can achieve by learning the method inside Baggage Freedom Express. Now, one of my past students, I want to share this with you, Sharon, she loves to travel with camera equipment. But in order to do that and to not feel like completely overwhelmed with luggage, she now packs everything else that she can control into a personal item bag, because having that in addition to her camera gear is so much easier to manage than a large suitcase and the camera equipment backpack as well. Okay, so in the photo, the gray backpack, that's her camera gear. She prioritizes that, she loves it, but everything else fits into a 10-liter handbag. Okay, so because of that, she can get around on her own. She doesn't have to manage multiple bags and wait for bags at the luggage carousel. None of that, right? She's good to go. She can manage it all. Okay, big success. So once again, do not write yourself off. Even if you have required extras, just don't do it. You want to look at the levers you can control and get to tweaking. And if you'd like to do that with me, consider joining my next Baggage Freedom Express Masterclass, because registration is open right now. If you're watching this later, get on the wait list. There's always another class coming up. So head to herpackinglist.com/freedom. As always, I hope to see you there. And thanks for watching. Bye now.